Welcome back to yet another Luke and Lewis episode. We've done it. We're here.
Zoom, baby.
Last one on Zoom.
The final
Fingers
Zoom
crossed.
ever.
Yes. Well, for this year. Before we start, the loogies are on sale right now. If you live in Adelaide, it's compulsory attendance. It's the biggest night of the year. It's a black tie event. Strictly not formal, but please wear a black tie.
Somehow your outfit.
Yes. Tickets are at lukeandlewis5.com.
lukeandlewis5.com. They're going quick. It's a small, not a massive show. So come down, get your tickets. And also this episode, there's an extended cut of it on Patreon as well. And that's great if you want more of us. So enjoy that.
The Patreon's been popping off. So you're missing out if you're not on there. It's growing. It's good.
Yes, it is very good. So grab your tickets to the Loogies. All that information will be in the description and the comments. And hope you enjoy this episode of the Luke and Lewis Show.
With the runner-up guest of the year from 2020.
All right, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Luke and Lewis. We have joining us today, Billy Darcy. Welcome to the show, mate. Welcome back.
Legends, I have returned. What a time.
Yes.
How good. I mean,
thanks for standing us up last week.
Yeah, I feel like I controlled the narrative there quite well, actually, because I feel like, it was 100% me who forgot. But by the end, it kind of felt like you guys had screwed me, if anything.
Yeah, Lewis really lashed out on that Will Gibb episode at you. He wasn't a fan. I actually thought it was just rude to Will Gibb, just being like really reinforcing the fact again and again that he was not the first choice. He was indeed a replacement.
And I think that Will was also a little bit frustrated with that, but he took it out on Billy as well because, quote, Will Gibb, fuck that guy, I don't think he's funny. So you copped a lot from me, you copped a lot from Will, and I guess we should just start all over again, fresh slate, and say, mate, welcome back to the show.
Yep.
And I won't be apologising, and I hope that's fine.
Okay, well, firstly, the tone has been noted. I'd like to go down on the record saying the tone has been noted.
Yeah.
A couple of things. Firstly, I do apologise for forgetting last week.
Yep.
Do you know what? I did put it in my calendar, but it was like the first week out of lockdown. I'm not used to having anything in my calendar. So
yeah, that's fair.
It's like my landlord emailed me the other week and he was like, did you get my email? And I said, mate, I got no clue. I haven't checked my emails in about 6 weeks. There appears to be no
I don't look at my emails either, and especially not from my landlord. In fact, just the other day, got a knock at the door, and it was the landlord to do a rental inspection that I had no idea was happening. They just rocked up, you know, and dude, the place here is an absolute fucking mess. Keelan and Rosie also were not prepared for an inspection at all.
No,
the rooms were a mess.
Fuck that guy, though, because if he has a problem with it, you'd be like, oh, meet my extra roommates, which you haven't exterminated yet. Here's the mice that you're not dealing with in my fucking kitchen.
Dude.
Yeah, but to be fair to the landlord, I would think that if I walked into the absolute fucking bombshell that is mine and Keelan's room, they would go, oh, well, that's why there's mice,
100%. I mean, the thing with renting is you do become under the illusion that it's your house and you think, how good's this? And then you'll get an email or inspection and you're like, oh, that's right, I'm like on the lowest rung of society. Like, you got very little rights. They just storm in wherever they want, and that's that, dude. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Renters are scum.
Yeah, but just on this Will Gibb thing, mate, I heard a filthy rumour, actually, quite a salacious one, that he intends to, in fact, peg me. Is there any sort of credibility behind this?
Well, no, that's not a rumour at all. It is filthy, but that's confirmed fact.
It's a filthy fact, unfortunately.
Yeah. An absolutely filthy fact.
It's unfortunate for you, I guess. Great for Will Gibb, I assume.
Oh, dude, say what you will about Will Gibb, but that bloke is as gay as it gets, Totally goes for it. So I guess would it be progressive of me to just let him?
I think that's the polite thing to do. You know, I think that after many years of not being able to live their true selves, I think that every straight guy just needs to hand out one free peg, one.
Man,
everyone has to do it though. Everyone. If I go out and get pegged and then I find out no one else is doing it, I'm going to be pretty upset, let me tell you.
No, okay, well, how about this? You know, I'll shoot Christian Hull a text. You give Will Gibb a call. Luke, I mean, you don't want to let the team down here.
Could
Me
just,
and Billy...
form a train in the middle or something. I don't know, man. This has gone too far.
I think we've just got on record that you guys know 2 gay people. And then...
Yeah.
I mean,
That's okay.
Notable gay people, probably personally, only a couple that our audience would also know. Just in regards to that, I was just thinking about how at the time I don't think I processed it. The double standard of that. Imagine if I just went on a podcast and said, I'm going to peg your next guest, like if they were female.
Yeah.
That's a wild time. You can pretty much do anything. If
definitely
you're a
not
gay man.
okay.
Yeah. I mean...
But hopefully, you know, judging by, you know, we like straight guys got in trouble for a lot of stuff they said 20 years ago. Maybe that soundbite, Billy, of Will saying he wants to peg you in 20 years might come back to haunt him. That could be the end of his career in a couple decades.
That's so interesting. I don't know, dude. When a straight guy threatens to peg you, it's definitely got a little bit more mustard on it, don't you think? It's not
threat.
as playful.
Yeah. More of a threat.
And... You know, Will Gibb intends to peg me, but I also got the vibe that he intends to do a good job. Whereas if a straight guy just says, I'm going to peg you, it's like, Jesus
that's
Christ,
true.
dude, it's a fucking Tuesday, you know? Like, you know what I mean? I think there's a lack of passion coming from straight men.
If there's anything I've learned from like single girls on TikTok talking about their dating experience, a straight guy saying he's going to do anything to you sexually, it's just not going to, it's going to be average at best.
Well, it almost seems like a threat that they're not going to follow through on, like, or a promise, maybe not a threat. I'm not saying every straight guy, white guy is just like this, you know.
Well, dude,
a threat.
If someone says they're going to peg you, Luke, it can be a promise or a threat.
Depends how it's taken.
That's really up to you.
It's really up to you.
You have to note the tone in which it's expressed.
In this world, we can only control the things we can control. Okay, and if someone says they're going to peg you, it's really up to them whether that is a promise or a threat. I would argue.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about perspective.
But dude, what about this though? We just came out of lockdown, and have you guys maybe haven't had this because I think the weirdest time in life is like when you just come out of lockdown, but you guys kind of skip that and like no one really knows.
We did it last year, but then we all bloody went back in.
Yeah, you know when
I did. I don't know. I had a real weird one where I escaped Melbourne's lockdown and I moved to a place that has never really had a lockdown. I was walking around like I felt like I was from a different like dimension. Just walking around, I saw a woman open mouth cough, and I was horrified. Right, you know. 2 years ago, I wouldn't have cared about that, and no one else cared about that. Yeah. I saw a woman open mouth cough. I crossed the street,
and
I was like, "Oh my god!"
Not on the mainland.
But you're having this PTSD to something she's never even heard about, and now you're the freak. Now you've ruined the vibe at the bus stop. You know?
Yeah.
So, but I had a similar one where I was at this cafe, and like, it was my first like coffee again, having it in there. Yeah. But then I was so pumped for it. But then I forgot I had this thing on, so I actually had to get a takeaway. And I know the guy. It's like, but it's the first time I've seen my regular guy in like 4 months. And we were never like close enough. I don't know if our friendship has withstood that 4 month delay. Whereas before we were like boys. And so he was like, do I say my name? Does he know it? I don't know what to do. But then, and he was like, Billy, can I just write Billy on the cup? And I was like, oh, thank God he knows it. But then he said, he goes, oh, mate, that's so much easier if I write Billy. I said, no worries. And he said, thank you so much. That's a lot easier. I said, yeah, dude, just write Billy. Like, what? It was so weird. And I'm like, I haven't talked to anyone. And I'm like, what's going on? And he said, well, it just makes my life a lot easier because guest of the year won't fit on the cup. I said, what?
Right.
Oh, no. I said, what? I said, Diego, what are you talking about, brother? Okay. And he just said, well, it's a full sentence. And it was a small coffee, you know? So it's like,
guest of the year is a big sentence.
I actually heard Darren Levy had trouble with that last year when ordering. Because
really?
He beat you for guest of the year, and you know, because like I reckon like if he tried to fit runner up, It probably would actually fit.
Runner up to
Runner-up
guest
would
of the
fit.
year, like second
Wow,
best
okay.
guest of the year.
Yeah.
That is even
I reckon
bigger. You're
that
going to have to
next
start
time-
getting extra large coffees. You're going to have to go
Yeah.
down to Starbucks, dude, and get the biggest size they have. Second best guest of the year, 2 times running.
Yeah, Billy,
That's
I think
a big
circle
sentence.
back next
Yep.
time you go in and see if runner-up fits, because he might have to get used to it. Like,
Yeah, well, it's been a tough year for my barista because after I was just having him write robbed under unjust circumstances. but then that's
Yeah,
a
right.
mouthful as well, isn't it? I mean, really, this
Yeah.
poor guy, he's going through 3 Sharpies a week every time I come in. I mean,
Yeah.
so I'm just trying to, I don't know if there's an abbreviation I could use for next year when I'm reigning champ or what we can use, probably something for us to sort of go back and forth on.
Well, mate, the loogies are coming up. Like we've put the
coming up?
loogies on sale. They're on sale right now. So it's in Adelaide, and you feel pretty confident about taking it out this year.
I feel extremely confident. I think Will Gibb possibly could have made a run, but I think if anything we saw his true colours. You know, he came in too hot.
Yeah.
You know, the gay card, it only goes so far. I would suggest, you know, you can't just sexually assault people. You know what I mean? You got to
Yeah.
win under some sort of circumstances, but like, you know, keep your spirit, keep your dignity.
and
You
keep
know, I
your
thought-
dick in your pants, Will.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
keep the horniness down. But you know,
Although he
you-
actually said at the end of the episode, you may not have got that far, it seems like, but we said, what's your pitch for guest of the year? He actually tried to do a reverse psychology and said, don't vote for me, which I think
really?
was a cop-out and it
Yeah.
showed a lack of confidence. Personally.
Yeah, I think that's a
I thought
coward's
about
move.
that during the week and went, I don't know if that was the right play, Will, but maybe he's
I didn't want to win anyway. That's the
yeah.
words of a coward.
Yeah,
That's
see,
what I think.
At
See,
least Billy lost like a champ. You have to give him that. Like,
well, he lost like a. I would revise it a little bit. He
A
lost
sore
like a guy
loser.
that really wanted to win and was a sore loser, and is now coming on and trashing everyone and saying that it was rigged.
That's
so
true.
I would revise that a
and
little
from
bit.
memory, at the time, recorded a video where he had a few drive-bys on us as well about being a straight white comedy duo.
Yeah.
dude, I love
Mate,
that. A couple of
Billy
drive-bys.
Darcy, I'd say, was so butthurt about his loss, I wouldn't be surprised if I found out he got pegged before it happened.
Yeah. 2 years in a row.
Oh, dude, this episode is gay and aggressive, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
But you know, okay, I'll say this: if you put me in a cage with a mixed martial arts fighter, okay,
Yeah.
competition rules. If I lose, I'm getting stretched out. Okay, I will not
Yeah.
lose on points. I will get knocked the fuck out. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And that is
All right.
the same, mate. Life is a cage. I'm never not fighting. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, of course.
so yeah, look, there were some who found some of my rebuttals / campaigning last year to be in poor taste. Okay, don't think I didn't
Yeah.
receive that feedback. It
Oh,
was
so
noted.
you've got a revised campaign strategy this
or
year.
you're
Let's
going
hear
to
it.
double down on it.
Oh no, it's very much a double down. Don't worry about that, babe. I mean, I almost beat Derek Levy. He's got about 1 million subscribers. You can't tell me
Yeah.
it didn't almost work.
Look,
didn't-
it was close, man. And look,
Dude.
I would say, look, the fans of Luke and Lewis did vote for you, but unfortunately, Derek or whatever the guy's name is, he had more fans than even we do.
Yeah, but
So
here's my question: Is the competition called Luke and Lewis Guest of the Year, or you know, Crazy Cab Ride's favorite passenger, or whatever? You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's called Luke and Lewis Guest of the Year. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, what you should have asked people last year is Derek Levy your favorite comedian, and then just pass that directly to his fans, and then I would just close the competition. That's seemed to be what happened. But I
Right.
think if we have, you know, a Guest of the Year, you know. A vote for me is really a vote for the people. I'm the people's guest, okay? There's no big funding. If there's Labor and Liberal, I'm very much the Greens. That's the vibe I've got, you know?
Right.
But I would say the Greens in poor taste.
Like the Greens if they wanted to hurt the environment and not save it.
Yeah,
That's
so you're
kinda
the
like
nationals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mate, I might vote for you. I'm liking this.
Yeah,
This is good.
I love comedy. I love getting pegged by Will Gibb, and I love fossil fuels. And that's my campaign for this year. I will
Man, I'm
bring.
sold.
I love fracking and I love comedy.
Yep.
Let's go. Vote for Billy Darcy.
Fracking and fucking Darcy.
Wow. Okay. And that's how a brand
Get that on a
comes together.
t-shirt. Get it right now.
Yeah, Rory Lowe, fire up the printer. We got another wild t-shirt to send out to the fans.
Yeah.
Well, look, Billy, you are
100 t-shirts at a time, by the way. No
Yeah.
more, no less.
Yeah, and I'm only selling them to kids who should not be allowed to buy them.
Yeah.
Just judging by the general sentiment of the audience, Billy, you are definitely a fan favorite. However, there has been someone come out of the ranks, or something rather, for guest of the year that's really just come out of nowhere.
An underground, like I would say, you were originally the underdog. This year, there's been a new underdog. You had your time as the battler, as the blue collar guest of the year, you could say. This year, you've been obviously there's the favorites. We're talking Andy Lee. He has to be up there just on mainstream popularity alone.
Love that I'm in the same conversation as Andy Lee. Continue.
Yeah. But the I would say the underdog this year is Rod's lawnmower. Now, we do have to
Rod's
explain.
lawnmower.
Rod was
Such an underdog that we didn't even intend Rod's lawnmower to be a guest on the show. We didn't
wasn't
even invite the
an
lawnmower.
invited guest. There was
Is
a
that
bloke
the guy
named...
Is that the guy who's mowing the lawn outside your studio?
Yes.
No, it's not him. It's not him.
It's his lawnmower because Rod never featured. So Rod was a man who bashed on Lewis's door aggressively and pretty much begged him for $50 if he could mow his lawn in Frankston.
Oh my God.
Also
Real
chucked
hustler.
in a couple of window cleaning for an extra $50, I believe.
He's a local entrepreneur. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Local entrepreneur, 3 teeth, and used to spend a lot of time of the lawn mowing time actually Googling heinous jokes to tell us afterwards because he found out that I told him that Lewis was a comedian. And I said... It'd be great if you could give him some advice. And Rod
just really stitched me up like
Rod,
a real dog move. Tells the guy that I'm a comedian and then leaves my house. And then 6 times in a row he comes into my house and tells me some incredibly
for
dark
20
jokes.
minutes,
Not dark because they were fucked, which they were. They were just about dark people. And they were so heinous I can't repeat them.
From memory, his best joke that I can repeat, and it's still off color. It's not a great one.
Yeah.
But the first joke that he came in and told us all was, why did one tampon not like the other? Because they're a stuck-up cunt or stuck-up a cunt, something like that.
Oh, my
I
God.
probably butchered the joke, but from memory, so
very
did Rod.
blue.
Very blue. Yeah.
Very blue.
But Rod is not in the running, and we made sure of that because we don't actually condone Rod's behaviour on the show. We're not about that.
No,
However,
absolutely not.
Rod's lawnmower featured heavily on one episode to the point where he was probably getting more airtime. The lawnmower was getting more airtime than we were on the episode because it was so loud coming through the brick wall and the corrugated iron of the garage that Lewis claims is a studio.
Look, we're not saying that anything's. We're not going to make any conclusive calls here, but we are saying that look, there is potential here for you to lose to an inanimate object.
It feels very Andy v. Billy v. Lawnmower as the race for guest of the year.
Oh God, I came on here full of confidence. Now I'm shitting myself.
I don't know how you convince people that you're better than Rod's lawnmower, but you do have something on your side. You
Sunglasses.
aren't a lawnmower.
Yep.
Although that's probably a demerit to some people when they're voting. Who knows?
I mean, I don't know where to begin really, but I mean, to lose to a machine, it would ironically hurt more than if I lost to another person. So
I think so.
I don't know how that works.
Hey, we interrupt this episode to tell you all about angelgrovecollectibles.com, the sponsor of today's episode. Luke, guess what? They sent us a care package, okay?
Really?
Yeah, look, the stuff they sent us might cause a bit of a divide in the show because I think that you and me might fight over this stuff. They sent us the Pokemon 25-year celebrations collection. Few booster
That's
packages.
cool.
Yeah?
That's very cool. You can have that one.
All right. Okay. We'll split it up. That's good. Great. I wanted that one. How about this Iron Man Legends collection?
Okay, that's cool. That's really cool.
That also mine?
No, I'll take that
Okay.
one.
All right. Yeah, you can have that one. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Also, they also sent some Dragon Ball Z figures. Really great. I collect this. So
Yeah, that's fine. Man with pink hair, all
Yeah.
yours.
Not any man.
That's cool though.
Evil Goku Black. Okay. We also have QAnon-inspired merch. I think QPOS get. No, actually, it's not QAnon. That's
Hang on,
Sailor Moon.
So you can get all of this, you're saying, at Angel Grove Collectibles. Lewis, what happens if you didn't want to pay full price? Because
Well,
you're a cheapskate.
So something like this, I would absolutely want to pay full price for. But something like a Digimon, I would want 10% off, and
Right.
to get that, I would use Sound Off 10.
Sound of 10, and that's our code.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can use that right now, angelgrovecollectibles.com.
Yeah, and also while you do it, just like look up to the sky and say thank you, Luke and Lewis, as you plug in the code.
Just thank the angels. So just before we finish up this sponsor segment, did you want the QAnon figure or the Digimon?
I mean, I'd prefer the Digimon.
Well, I'd just say I know that how much you think that the election was rigged is all.
No, obviously I've been very open about that, but I just think Digimons are cool because, although I'd actually prefer a Tamagotchi, so it's either way. I got the Digimon last time.
Okay, well I'm pocketing this, and
you know what, man? You can have both.
Yes, angelgrovecollectibles.com. Use code SOUNDOFF10 for 10% off, and enjoy the rest of the show.
So how has the return to the norm been in Sydney?
It's kind of it's weird because like I don't know. It's hard to know when everything's going to come back properly. Like it's kind of
because it's not back, is it? Like you're out, but it's not. Everything's not back.
Like I was at the pub on the weekend, and there's a line 500 meters long. But then I'm inside the pub. There's like 17 of us in there, and that's like capacity.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Wow.
So it's pretty good. Like we're out and about. But I wish the end of lockdown. I wish we had like more of a Band-Aid moment. You know how everyone's like Freedom Day, but then like you just wake up. Like it rained all day here on our Freedom Day. It just poured with rain, and then some people went out for dinner, and it was like, oh sweet. So my mental health is fine now. Everything's back to normal. You know what I mean?
It is very much like, all right, it's all fine now, and everyone's walking around going, I think I might have PTSD.
Yeah.
I'm going nuts.
I don't think I'm the same bloke who went in. Are we going to address this? Or,
I'm not.
You know? I wish someone would come around like 9 a.m. Freedom Day. They just send government officials around, and you just open the door, and some guy gives you a massive right hook, punches you right in the face, and goes, get back to it. And you go, fuck yeah, we're back.
Like there's a real problem.
Yeah, and that's you go, all right, I've felt the change. I've felt the tempo change. But you don't really get that. You know, your cousin just went out for oysters, and now we're all supposed to pretend everything's fine. You know,
well, mate, depending on what happens out on a night out, you could just be an obnoxious douche if you really wanted that punch.
Yeah, I know. Look, I start fights, I don't finish them. My official record is 0-1, and I deserve that one. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like a bit numb, to be honest. I just want to kind of feel something. So, but you know, we're out and about. We're back doing it.
You know what I want to do? I really want to fucking bomb on stage. And I reckon when I get that first bomb, I reckon then I'll be like, all right, now it's back to normal. When I just tank in front of 6 people that aren't really listening, I'll be like, yeah, there it is. It's back.
Melbourne's
Freedom.
back. I think that's more of a Melbourne thing, though. Just like get out there in a dungeon.
I think you'll find we got plenty of that here in Sydney as well. I don't know. It might not be a Melbourne.
Very little of that here in Perth. Very little 6, or maybe I'm just not hanging out there, but like every time I go to a gig, it can be an open mic and there's like 60 paying people and they're all having the best night of their life.
Perth is an oasis, dude. If you could get over there.
It's having a cultural renaissance down in Perth.
And also,
up in Perth.
There are people who are just like Perth, I don't know, like it's such a small city. People just go to stuff. There's like one comedy, there's one comedy night on at that night. There's not like multiple gigs happening. What should I go to? There's just one gig. You go. It's packed. You leave. You're an absolute legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah. People here, I think it's I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's the best city in Australia, right? It is.
Okay. I think we've talked about this previously, but I don't agree with you. But I think Perth should be ranked number 3 instead of what are people ranking it? I feel like it's just too far away, but once you get there,
Yeah,
You know?
that's my argument. I agree it's not worth the trip, but once you get here, you forget. Every time I'm not in Perth, I'm like, oh, it's a long way away. But then I'm here, I'm like, best place in Australia. Except for at night, it's a bit. I have been screamed at on the way home from every single gig by someone on drugs.
Oh yeah, that's okay. One thing on Perth. Firstly, on Perth, Northbridge, great area, but the homelessness, they got that fucking crystal meth pep in their step, dude.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
The homeless there, it's like pretty full on. It's pretty full on.
They have superpowers.
Yeah, they're like, dude, a homeless guy robbed me. He was on the other side of the block and he just jumped over this 6-foot apartment block.
Yeah.
Straight on top of me, you know?
That'll happen.
But
that's the only negative, I think.
Yeah. But here's the thing, dude. Perth, Adelaide, you know, Brisbane. We're all talking about these cities. And do you know who's really getting away with it? Canberra. Canberra is the capital. I reckon it's not even in our top 5. They only
Canberra
built
sucks.
it. They only built it because they couldn't decide between Sydney and Melbourne. Sydney and Melbourne, we still have a rivalry as if one of us did get capital and the other one didn't. We've kept that energy.
Yeah.
But neither of us got capital.
Sydney and Melbourne were so good and so bitterly fighting that they were just like, well, neither of you are getting it, and we're going to build the capital in a place that isn't a city yet, and it's still not.
It gives off the vibe, like, you know, when you drive 40 minutes out of like maybe Melbourne or Sydney, and there's that new estate, and all the new families move there.
Yeah.
That's Canberra. It's just like, you know, just
a manufactured fake town. It's a set. That's what it is. Especially when you get off at the airport.
One afternoon, and then they were like, that's your capital. We'll put it on a big hill. And look, no pollution, but also no population. So it doesn't...
Nah, you know what it is? It's a place for politicians to hide from people they represent. And you go to Canberra, they got the best roads, they got the best airport, they got the best everything that's funded by politicians. Everywhere else is just fucked. And they're like, what do you mean? Australia's great.
Dude, the Macca's closes at 5 p.m.
Yeah, it's not a real place. That's
they call
a fake
themselves
McDonald's.
a restaurant. They're not even open for dinner.
Yeah.
What are you then? You're not a restaurant. You're just this weird shit cafe.
It's a set.
Yeah. And it's got like that small town energy as well, where like, I remember last time I gigged there was like a Wednesday. And, you know, I'm only in town for one night. Let's go out and have a couple of beers or whatever. And it's not like Monday to Thursday, this is what we do. It's like you either go out on the weekend or you stay in your home.
Yeah.
Like nothing's open. There's no place to be on a Wednesday night. They just shut it down.
It reminds me of the place from the Truman Show.
A little bit, yeah. It's got like that Cat in the Hat energy for sure.
The weird, perfect neighborhood, but there's no substance or character to it.
And then also, just for a bit of bants, why don't we also make it minus 10 degrees every day?
Yeah, because fuck you.
Yeah, because fuck you.
Billy.
Just having a good hearty laugh with my friend there.
Yeah, that's right. Dude, balls, hairy balls. Yuck. Disgusting.
Thank God mine are smooth, though. Like, balls are a bit yuck, but when they're disheveled, yuckier.
Absolutely disgusting.
And sweatier.
Yeah, and a way you can solve this is by jumping on manscaped.com/soundoff to get 20% off and free shipping the Lawnmower 4.0, the best ball bag trimmer in the game, dude.
I wonder if people can tell that we're kind of going off script. Like, imagine if that's a thing like they wrote in the brief. It's like host to say, and then in all caps, balls at the start of the read.
Yeah. And sometimes we finish an ad read and I'm like, man, are they going to be happy with this? But Manscaped have been just stoked with us because you keep using our unique link, manscaped.com/soundoff.
Manscaped.com/soundoff is the place to go. I think it's a great Christmas present for maybe your boyfriend, your partner. Hell, send a message to your dad. Say, clean up that shit, Dad. All right. I saw you, reach for a cupboard the other week with low cut shorts on. It was a disaster. And get in the Lawnmower 4.0. It comes with a bunch of, you can get the weed whacker, right?
Nose trimmer.
I'm telling you, it's a nose trimmer. It's just a good present.
There's one thing that I could get every single one of our listeners to do right now is pull out your phone, open up your text, open up messages with your father and go, how are your balls, Daddy?
Yeah.
And then send them a link to manscaped.com/.
Great idea.
Yeah.
And if they say disheveled, you know where to go. Use our custom link, manscaped.com/sound off.
20% off and free shipping. Thanks to Manscaped. Support the brands and support the show. And let's get back to whatever bloody old classic Billy Darcy was doing. What a lovable fella.
Probably having a chin wag about something.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But even in this realm of discussion, which gets thrown around, what's the best Australian city? You even bringing up Canberra into the mix shocks me because I know it's the capital, wouldn't call it a city. It's the capital.
I think that's there's a lot of, when you go, what's the best Australian cities? There's a lot of cities that don't even
above Canberra.
Can't even be ranked.
Oh, dude, Newcastle is better than Canberra. Make no mistake.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
There's small towns that beat Canberra.
Are we? Yeah. Oh, 100%. But are we the only country? Right? Isn't it pretty bloody normal? Your oldest / best town or best city is your capital. Like, we're the only country I've come across that just has this random capital in the middle of nowhere. But, like, if you came on a trip here, you wouldn't visit Canberra.
No.
You know what I mean? You'd stick to the coast.
I think a lot of tourists would get sucked in. It'd actually be interesting to see what international people... If you're listening to this right now, if you're from overseas, let us know. Did you feel inclined to visit Canberra when you came here? Because, I should probably visit the capital. Because if you travelled somewhere, you'd be like, what's the capital? Yeah. We should go there. God, it must be disappointing when they drive 4 hours south from Sydney and end up in the middle of nowhere. It's not a coastal town. I think the Australian capital should be on a coast because it's Australia and we're an island.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. I want to see a prime minister walk into Parliament House with a surfboard on his shoulder and skin cancer, and I know that guy's Australian.
They should have just
100%.
put it in like Hervey Bay or Cairns or something. It would have been more appropriate.
Yeah.
Now, one thing we were discussing before the ep started, Lewis. Also, Billy pointed out that Lewis having 2 rents is pretty wild. It is like he's paying, got a house. He's bought a house now in Melbourne. He's a homeowner, man.
And I saw that. I didn't know it was in Melbourne. Where is he in Melbourne?
Well, mate, you want a real flex? For a period of time, I was paying for a mortgage and 2 rents. So,
oh, dude, yeah, that's sick. You should just put your financial documents on your Instagram story, and just be like expenses, and then just send that out. You know?
Yeah.
Not even not even at a fancy restaurant, just expenses.
I think that expenses, then at the bottom, tickets at loosespears.com.
Yeah. Always swipe up.
That's good. Because the other day...
Contribute here.
Yeah.
The other day I posted like my TikTok analytics of like how many views I'm getting. Fuck that noise. I'm going to go on QuickBooks and screenshot the last financial year. Post that.
Just put that up. Hey guys, this mortgage is starting to get a bit lippy. Come to my next show, loosespears.com.
Yeah. That is good. I think just really lean into homeowner.
Did you seriously put your TikTok... hang on. Did you put your analytics on your story?
No, I just put like how many views I got in the last month. That's cool.
Yeah. It's, what?
Is
you
it
put
cool?
that in the group chat.
Hang on. I don't want to just let that... I feel like we're just going to move on there.
Neither was I. I was also not going to let that slide.
Good.
I'll say it. We can say it at the same time if you want, Billy.
No! The working class is rising up. Whatever. Do you think I care? I'm talking about franking credits. I don't care about you guys.
The reason why I thought that was funny was because you put it on your story. I checked my analytics. I had twice the amount of views as you, and didn't feel the need to brag about it. Right.
See? 100%.
All right, renter, whatever.
Dude, look, it's so funny. I remember you put it in your story and I just replied with, ha.
Well, we've got both ends of the spectrum here because we got Lewis with average analytics posting them. Luke is a superstar, doesn't post them. And my analytics are quite unimpressive and I don't post them. So, Lewis, you're in the middle, mate. And I got to say, it is most definitely not cool. I think we could confirm that. Was that ever... I love how you said a question but then framed it as a statement and just tried to move on. You're like, that's cool, isn't it? Moving on. And then we just sort of skate by. I could confirm it's not cool. It's definitely not cool.
All right, excuse me for being happy with my reasonable amount of views, all right? So, next time, I'll get heaps and I won't tell anyone.
It's like you could be happy and just like be happy. Like you don't have to pat yourself on the back to thousands of people. Like...
So just to recap,
it's about
Lewis,
the journey. It's about telling the fans where we're going, straight up.
So just to recap, Lewis, on your Instagram story last week, you had your mortgage and then your TikTok analytics.
Yeah,
what a fun day. What a fun day for the fans, hey?
Mate, I don't expect you to get it. How many roommates do you have?
What?
How many roommates do you have? You wouldn't get it.
I have 3 roommates.
I actually have thousands. I live with rats right now.
Yeah.
I literally live with rats.
Okay.
I think that would be better content. I personally would
I
rather
think the rats...
enjoy watching your mice infestation grow. I think that's just more relatable. It's more common man. It might make people briefly forget you're a Moderna monarch. I think we need to do to you the opposite of the Fast and Furious franchise. We need to bring Lewis Spears back down to earth. I think.
No, people don't want an everyman. You know, you guys are filling that gap. I'm trying to be the world's most unrelatable comedian. That's my niche.
Who do you reckon is the world's most unrelatable comedian?
It's got to be Russell Brand.
Yes, you're right.
Absolutely, it's got to be Russell Brand. Like some cunt walking around wearing women's clothes, taking hallucinogens, and talking about the refugee crisis.
Yeah, the Harry Styles.
Can't relate.
I'll tell you this about Russell Brand. Like, Russell Rebrand, more like it. I mean, what the fuck happened to that guy? Dude, I had no idea he was doing this, like, guru thing. And so I'm a big Russell Brand fan.
I bailed after forgetting Sarah Marshall, like a lot of people.
Well, so, dude, I love Russell Brand. I read, like, he's got 3 books, like, you know, the fun books, not the voodoo ones now. But I read them, love his movies and his stand-up. But then I'm, you know, sort of checked out for a couple of years. And I went from forgetting Sarah Marshall, and then the next thing I saw from him was, like, how to find true love in 2021. Like, our connection's real. And I was like, what happened?
That's got to be. That is always a weird thing when you have a favorite entertainer and then you disconnect for a few years and then you find out what they're up to today. Like, think about how many people would have just had their minds blown because, think about this: they haven't watched an Alec Baldwin film for 7 years. One day they jump on Twitter and he's killed someone. They're like, "Fuck, that's crazy."
Oh, dude, have you guys talked about that on the podcast or?
Nah.
Yeah. Do we have to?
Nah.
No, we don't have to.
Sick.
I thought that maybe if we dropped it in, we could find a thread there.
You know what I thought? I thought about it, and then I just couldn't really be fucked.
Actually, one thing before we wrap up, are you aware of the prize for Guest of the Year, Billy?
No.
We've just decided on the prize.
Well, we decided
there wasn't one last year,
but we haven't got it yet. We've actually decided to finally go out and buy it. We made this call last year. It's a Gucci ring.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
That'll go with the... I was going to say, I've got a Gucci head-to-toe outfit, but I just need a ring. So this is music to my ears.
But it's not just like it's not a ring with a G on it. It's an extravagant jewel-encrusted Gucci ring.
I think we're trying to go the lion one, aren't we?
Yeah, we found a lion head chomping on like a gem. Yeah. And that's going to be the Guest of the Year ring.
Because it represents the guest who's the king of this jungle.
I'm going to have to sell the house to get it, so...
Yeah, I feel like the ring really is just another flex from Lewis, but I'm happy to receive it. You know?
Finally sharing his wealth, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it in poor taste if I just sell the ring almost immediately?
Mate, if you win...
Yes, however, I think that would remain on brand for your whole campaign.
Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't... I wouldn't sell the ring because... I would probably use it to carry on quite a bit. Re having people kiss it.
Because then you lose the flex. Because imagine, say you win this year, you get to hold it up and go, I want to fill the hand. I'm collecting the Infinity Stones.
100%. Yeah, no, it's definitely impressive. Yep. All right. Look, I was pretty keen before, but now I'm even keener, I would say.
All right. Well, to wrap it up, Billy, why should the people vote for you? Right, you were runner-up last year. Why should you take the top spot this year?
Well, so my biggest competition is that lawnmower, right?
Yeah.
Lawnmower, Andy Lee, and
there's a few other big guests.
Derek.
Like Friendly Geordies has had a big year, and he was still on the show.
That's true.
But I don't know. I feel like... He
might be in prison by then, though.
I mean,
that could work.
Hopefully, but... Hopefully... if we have some justice, he'll be in prison, let me tell you. Yeah, no, to be honest, mate, I just get a gut feel from Friendly Geordies that he really couldn't give a fuck about the Guest of the Year award.
He won't even notice the events are on.
He almost fell asleep 3 times.
He barely turned up to the episode. He's not going to turn up to an award show.
No.
No. And let's be I don't feel that he particularly wants it. Whereas on the flip side, I want it so bad that if anything, I've come off too desperate at times.
Yep.
So, there's definitely the desire is still there.
Yeah.
As far as this lawnmower, I mean, I would never encourage the listeners to discriminate, whatever race or sexuality you are, God bless, babe. But I think we can definitely be racist towards like robots, can't we?
Yeah.
Dude, fuck this lawnmower. Like, it's not a human. Only humans should win. Machines are less than. They are less than us, okay? Discriminate. I don't think the lawnmower doesn't deserve it, okay? I've heard what you said before. It's no doubt an impressive candidate for the award. But it's not a human, okay? Let's put the line in the sand.
Also, it backfired and really scared me, which I didn't appreciate.
Yeah, exactly, dude. These robots have got a bad attitude. I'm telling you, no machines can win.
He fucking hates the lawnmower.
I'm very anti Rod's lawnmower.
Yeah, fuck Rod. Fuck this lawnmower, okay? So it has to be a human. So
Billy,
lawnmower's out.
Can I throw some names at you of your competition just quickly?
Yep.
Christian Hull, who we discussed earlier.
Yep. Christian Hull, I'll tell you what, he would have been paying $1.03 to be the gayest guest on this podcast this year. And Will Gibb has just come from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Who's picking that?
No one.
No one. So fair play. Christian Hull, I never met him, but he I don't know too much about him, but I know he's super famous as well. So that I'm threatened by his fan base, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that's not like too mean. You know what I mean? I like to keep it playful.
Well, favorite, the unofficial mayor of Hobart, rapper Greeley. He's been a bit of a fan favorite. He's been on twice this year as well.
Okay, so I'll say this. When Greeley defeated 360 in a rap battle in the mid-2000s, that was one of the most corrupt things I've ever seen as a 12-year-old. Okay, I don't care how many fucking face tattoos that guy gets, okay? 360 has taken a shit with better lyrics than Greeley, okay? Fix up that name. Fix up the fucking the lyrics, bruh, okay? You know what I mean? Everyone's standing on the shoulders, I should say, of 360, the greatest Australian rapper of all time.
False.
And you got these guys like Greeley who want to be like, I'm a rapper, but I'm also a hardcore criminal. Pick one. Pick one, babe. You're putting an album out every 3 years from the Slammer. I mean, I'm not going to buy tickets to a guy's show if he's going to get done for assault next week and the show's cancelled, Like, lock him up. Lock that guy up, dude. All right. So Greeley is out.
Blake Pavey.
Blake Pavey.
TikTok superstar.
Blake Pavey. Dude, that kid is talented as fuck, that 12-year-old dude. My God. But what about this? If I beat Blake Pavey, I will do some videos next year with a towel over my head as well. How does that sound? Is that a good deal? The fans?
Yeah.
Joseph Green. Comedian from Melbourne, yoga instructor.
No, I know of him. All I know about
former
Joseph
yoga
Green
instructor
is, dude, that guy is too attractive to be a comedian. Get out of the space.
Yeah.
I saw him on a podcast. He was talking about being a stripper.
That was our podcast.
Yeah. Why did you ever stop, mate? We don't need any tens telling us about their subtle anxiety.
I agree, dude. You look like Jesus, all right?
Yeah.
I can't relate, bro.
Dude, my last bit I just put out was 7 minutes about striking out with chicks. What we're going to listen to this guy? Oh, I only had a threesome last night.
The Drake of Australian comedy.
Oh, 100%. Going up there, it's bragging, really.
You're up against Ruben Solo, who actually was a guest, used to work on the show, and then on his last episode became a guest.
I will say this. I was actually messaging Ruben before, so he's fresh in my mind. Actually, he was messaging me. I'd like that corrected. Ruben Solo, I'll say this, dude. His sketches, right, have got to have some of it's got to be the biggest lack of diversity in a comedy sketch series I've ever seen. It's just straight white males as far as the eye can see.
Yeah.
I mean,
lots of extras, not all of them straight white men.
They're all just him. He loves straight white males so much, he won't even cast another one. They have to all be him.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, where's the diversity?
The ABC would not be picking up his TikToks,
No,
that's for sure.
100%, dude. It's like watching sketch comedy from 1973. It's too much, dude. Get a Korean chick in there.
Yep. There's also Amos Gill.
I'll say this about Amos Gill. I think Amos Gill actually might be the best stand-up in Australia right now. Low key. Low key. I actually, this is going to be a bit off brand for me, but I actually admire this guy a lot. But I will say this about Amos Gill. Great bloke, great stand-up. I don't really know him that well, but I replied to his last 2 Instagram stories and have received nothing in return.
He's too busy opening for Jim Jeffries, mate.
Yeah,
I'll back this up. I've responded to a couple of Instagram stories. No response. I've gotten a scene, actually.
So, I've been seen twice in the last... Because his Instagram stories are so cool. He's like playing a stadium with Jim Jeffries. You know, I say, wow, that's so cool. Scene. So
as soon as he goes to LA, he forgets about us. I'll go even further than that. Jim Jeffries is live streaming, right?
Oh, I saw that.
Talking, bunch of banter, not many people there. Amos Gill is next to him in the bed. Suspicious, whatever, right? I write something. I write a little comment about Amos that I thought was quite funny. I see Amos clock the comment, see it, read it, doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Coward.
And
he's
I'll
a traitor.
say this to Amos Gill. Let's not forget who's headlining those stadium shows, because it's not you, babe. Okay?
It's all. By the way, I just want to point out, it is also not you two. You two are coming up so desperate right now. Oh, I got left on scene. I tried to get his attention on a live stream.
I love this. Wait,
I thought I was having a bit of banter with my mate.
That's Lewis being like, Jim, notice me. I also have a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. Jim's actually literally responded to me more times than Amos has. I've responded to a Jim story. He said, thanks, mate. Amos left me on scene. The only time Amos responds to my Instagram DMs is when he's asking me for what camera he should buy.
Yeah, 100%. So, Amos Gill, although I want to be you, you need to fucking calm down, mate. You need to chill out and respond to me and Lewis.
Andrew Hansen from The Chaser, we had on earlier in the year.
Fuck. Which one is he? I'm so...
That's it.
You know, mate, I'm sorry. I'll say this, okay? I'll be honest. I don't know what he looks like off the top of my head.
Yep.
But when I was growing up, The Chaser had 3 blokes. Now, it seems like any white guy on a panel brackets The Chaser. There's like 17 of them now.
Yeah.
Like like, oh, people are saying they're from The Chaser because they've listened to a Chaser podcast once. Like, can anyone just say they're from The Chaser? Like,
yeah.
I don't understand.
It's a very kind of like the BTS of Australia. It's hard to keep up.
Oh, dude, I'm
how many band members?
Every second show at the festivals, it's like from The Chaser.
Yep.
Well, careful, Billy, because we've had Andrew on our show, so Luke and I are also from The Chaser now. So watch your words.
That checks out.
Also, they're Frenchie, world's oldest comedian, so probably not a huge threat.
An ancient relic. Please treat him with respect.
Yeah. Okay. Firstly, I know Frenchie. Love that guy to death. I love when people like talk shit about.
When is that death going to happen? By the way, he's like 100,000 years old. When is that coming?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, he's been pretty ambitious here in Sydney. I don't know if you've seen him canoeing in the harbour, and I don't know, dude.
With Kieran,
I'm just thinking it's bad if they capsize, because you know how like if you throw a fish in the water, it'll just swim around. But Frenchie's so old, I think he might give off the same stench as like a dead body, and it could attract sharks if he falls in the water.
Or
you know
his bones will just like completely disintegrate into the harbour.
I think that he's so old and porous. You know how old people kind of get a dusty, dry look? I worry that if he fell into the river, he would absorb all of it. There'd be no river left.
Wow.
Look,
so I think we can agree. He's either going to
an old sponge that you find up next to the sink.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not well. I think my pitch for beating Frenchie is get well, Frenchie. Take some vitamins, brother.
Yeah,
take some vitamins.
Good. And finally, Tom Armstrong, Frenchie's, from Tom and Frenchie.
Okay, from Tom and Frenchie. I tell you what, if I'm beating Frenchie, I'm pretty confident I will have Tom Armstrong covered. Okay, so I'm just going to package deal them. They're the same too.
I think that's about it. I mean, there's a few others, but
I will say this. I wanted to say something about Andy Lee. I've literally the whole time you've been talking, I've been thinking about Andy Lee because he's got to be the most likable guy maybe ever.
Man, you talked about a guy too handsome to do comedy. I mean, Andy Lee, what's he doing?
Oh, dude,
Can we just point out before this goes on? Not often do you see Billy D rattled. This is unbelievable. Uncharted waters.
To be honest, this would be a great TV show. You know how he's got that 0 to 100 or whatever? Okay, actually, I've just here's something. He's got this 0 to 100 television show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's just ripped off Bert Newton's 20 to 1. Has he not? He's just changed one of the numbers. Instead of 20 to 1, he's done 0 to 100.
It's more like Family Feud. They survey 100 people. They have 100 people in a Zoom and they ask them, like, do you pick your nose or not? And then, like, you got to guess the percentage of people that pick their nose.
Okay, I haven't seen the show.
Yeah. But it's similar to Family Feud, though.
Yeah.
It is similar to another format.
Okay. Here's a show I would pitch. Because like you said, look, I'll be honest, I'm a bit rattled here. Here's a show, 10 weeks. It's me and a panel of guests, very diverse, R.A. Ruben Solo. Very diverse panel. And each week we try and come up with one negative feature of Andy Lee's personality or appearance.
Yep.
Ooh.
Good
That's
luck.
it. It's a 10-week
Those are going to be
series.
long episodes.
That's
We
gonna
will
run
get
for
picked
9
up for season
seasons.
2. I don't think we'll find anything really.
No, but I
Yeah.
think it'll be like Lost. It will be like this endless pursuit to get off the island, but instead to find a personality
Mate,
flaw.
even like a guy, we've known Andy for quite a few years now. We have nothing. He was even immaculately on time to the episode. We've got he doesn't even have the annoying thing where all comedians are late. He was really on time.
And he replies like really swiftly and efficiently to an emails because he has an assistant.
Oh, cool. But the thing about Andy Lee, I shook his hand once and I had like an abrasion on my arm.
Yeah.
I shook his hand and it healed instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also this arm was more muscular than before I touched him.
Wow.
Like, the guy is
that happens.
He's an Adonis, dude. I tell you what,
Yeah.
Good luck to Andy Lee. I would say I don't think I can beat Andy Lee. I don't think anyone can.
I have something for you, Billy. I would say that Andy doesn't need it, and it's unfair to add another award to his list. That's all I really have for you is like, does he really need another one?
I would like to ask Andy to formally withdraw from the running, and further than that, I would like written confirmation from him that he will not appear on this podcast again. That's what I would like.
We'll reach out. We'll ask his assistant.
No, we're not going to follow through on
I'll
the
message
last one.
I would like written confirmation that your most high-profile and famous guest will not return. That's what I want.
We cannot promise that. We are trying to run a fair competition here, and we need the views, quite frankly.
Wait, that'd be a great like scene. If like some guy who thinks he's a bigger deal than Andy Lee, he's like, right. Imagine like a radio host at like Today FM or whatever. He's like, right. It's either Hamish and Andy or it's me. Make your choice. And then you're just like getting carried out of the building. You're like, what's happening? Like,
That's actually why we have this podcast and not a radio show, Billy. That's what happened to us.
Yeah.
oh really? You took out a Hamish and Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah. We thought they were weak. They weren't on radio at the time. We were mistaken. Bad call.
Dude, Hamish and Andy, I mean, they're fucking legends. They're just absolute legends.
Yes.
Well, mate, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And I would say, guys, voting will open soon. Billy, you might be
vote
one of
one,
the
Billy.
Voting will
last.
open soon.
You
Vote for
probably
me.
will be the last guest of the year, perhaps,
Yeah, I think so. You're the final guest, mate.
When does this go out?
this Thursday.
Thursday.
Oh, cool. What? You're not having any guests for the rest of the year, or?
Well, the Loogies are November 24th, so they're
okay.
quickly approaching. We've fast-tracked them this year because I want to go back to Melbourne.
Get down, mate. You're welcome to come along.
If
maybe I will,
Adelaide
actually.
is if Adelaide opens to New South Wales, we'll try
it's
and
in
organise
Adelaide,
something.
Yeah, message me. But can I plug a show? I've got a show coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm doing a show November 19 in Sydney. It's called Riff City. Come along. It's at this. They're doing like a comedy festival in Sydney called Laugh Out of Lockdown Festival because
right.
Sydney
Awesome.
Fringe got cancelled. So it's at laughoutoflockdown.com.au.
Get on it.
And also,
Get your tickets.
it's all crowd work. It's all improvised. Like it's like a fun show me and Pat do. So it's all crowd work.
Awesome.
Pat
Come along,
Doherty is
dude.
a very funny boy as well. So
Yeah,
we would highly
Yes.
recommend you going to that if you're in Sydney.
Yeah.
And
my
leave the
podcast
house
is
for
called-
once.
Oh yeah, my podcast is
Yeah.
called Get Around Me. Get around it. And that's that, dude. Thanks for having me.
We'll leave those links in the description of the YouTube and the audio as well, so check it out. And thank you very much, Billy, for joining us. Good luck. final
lads.
guest of the year. Hopefully, best guest of the year.
Cheers, mate.